Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and welcome to my Same But Different Christmas card series for 2018. Now, today is a theme, and the theme is Frosty. And this is part of a challenge for me. I am being challenged by my friend Michelle Lupton, and every year she does this Challenge Me a Christmas card series, which is awesome. So we've both got some Frosty themes going on at our blogs, and if you head through the link below to my blog, you'll be able to link to Michelle's blog there and see what she's created with the theme Frosty. So obviously Frosty here, this is what inspired me. It's the bundled up snowman from Penny Black, and reminds me of Frosty the Snowman. So I've got 6 cards that I'm sharing with you today. They're same but different, so the theme is all going to be Frosty. And the first 3 cards are similar, and the second 3 cards are similar as well. So the technique that I'm using here, I'm colouring this image. So this is one of the brushstroke images. It's a slapstick cling stamp from Penny Black, and it's a red rubber stamp, and they are such a good stamp for so many different styles of creating. And I really like to use these stamps for more clean and simple designs, but obviously all the hints are in the image. So if you don't feel confident with colouring, these are a really easy way to colour, because you can just use the shadows that are actually given to you in the image and put your darker colours over the shadow and then blend out to your lighter ones where the lighter highlights are. So really they're not as intimidating as they look. And they're a nice big stamp. A lot of these are quite nice big stamps, so they really dominate a card and they are just beautiful. So what I've done here is stamp the image out with my Misty with some London Fog ink. It's a Memento ink, and I know that's compatible with my Copics. And I'm adding my Copic colours. I will list all of the colours at my blog if you do happen to miss the lids off to the side, because I have had to speed this up because there are 6 cards today. But I've tried not to overcomplicate the designs. Alright, so I did stamp him out on some 110-pound cardstock because I wasn't sure where I was going with this. Now what I'm doing here is adhering. This is a sheet of double-sided adhesive. There's a few different brands out there. There's the Be Creative. This is an Express It, and I've cut it larger than the image and basically adhered it over top. Now I've got this is an ultra fine glitter, and it has got quite a bit of sparkle, but it's not as sparkly as the Prisma glitter, and it's from Art Glitter, and it's called White Satin. And I've just added that over the top of all of the sticky and then burnishing it in with my finger, and I'm making a glittery coloured picture. It's kind of like the dry sheet technique. I've stamped a really simple sentiment from the Triangle Tree set from Reverse Confetti, created a border, and then popped that up on top of my card, added it to the top fold card. Really simple design, but that sparkle is so much fun. So once I did this Frosty, I had to do 2 more. So I grabbed another Penny Black image. This one's a real cute little girl the stamp's called Let's Chill. I don't know what her name is, but the stamp's called Let's Chill. And what I found here is, because you get that kind of muted finish after adding the glitter to the images and adding the adhesive over top, I made sure to use nice bright bold colours so that they would show through a little bit muted. And I didn't worry about over blending, because you're not going to see it once you put the glitter on top. So if your colouring is not perfect, it won't matter. No one will be able to tell. The dry sheet technique is very similar to this, but you do actually add a layer of used dry sheet on top of the adhesive before you add the glitter, and that makes it look even more muted. So it depends what look you're going for. You could try that as well. So look how dark I've made the shadows on the white bit. But when you see the finished image, you'll see that it really doesn't show up as dark as they look in the original colouring. The next stamp I thought I'd try was the beautiful Mondo Holly. It's an Essentials by Alan stamp created by Julie Ebersole. And same again, doing some nice bright bold colouring. And I stuck to the bright greens. I know holly can be sort of real deep green, but I really like this combination of green. I don't know if you know, but some of these greens, even though they're in different families, they pretty much seem like exactly the same colour. So I've got a couple of greens that look exactly the same, but they're totally different family numbers. So it does pay to check your colours if you can actually see the real colour before you go and buy them, because Copics are a real investment, and there's no point having two colours that are so similar that there's, unless you empty one and then you can grab the other one to replace it. I've done that before because you're too lazy to fill them, or you haven't got the filler. I did actually add some purple there to add a little bit more depth to those berries. And I made a mistake here. I wasn't concentrating, and I actually cut the Mondo panel down before I added the adhesive, so I didn't get the sharp edges that I wanted on this particular design, but I think I saved it. So I actually had to cut it away. I used my powder tool to deactivate the adhesive before I used my scissors on the stick, and that worked. I just didn't want to cut this little panel any smaller, so I just sort of scooched the edges down. I think that turned out really pretty too. I added some spinach cardstock to the front of the card, popped up my panel this time instead of sitting it in a recessed sort of area. What do you call it? Window. And this sentiment is from Concord and 9th. It's the centre of a banner. It says Holly. It's from the Holly Jolly banner die, and I just die cut with some red cardstock and using my matte medium to add that on top of the glitter because I figured I'd need a strong hold there. How cute is that sentiment? Perfect with the holly, I thought. And the glitter just adds that special something. All right, my next, my little girl image, I decided to pop her up as well. I did that on some oyster grey cardstock, but didn't like the sentiment stamped in black. The sentiment's from the Mondo Holly set, and so what I did is covered it up with a heat embossed sentiment in white. She's really pretty. All right, my next 3 cards. So we're still sticking with this Frosty theme, remember. So I'm looking at my stamps and thinking, what's Frosty? And then I started seeing all these sort of ice skating, sledding kind of images. So I thought it'd be fun to do a reflection technique. So I've got the London Fog ink again because I want to do Copic colouring. I've stamped my mouse image from Waffle Flower Crafts. It's from Cold Hands. It's a set called Cold Hands. Onto some acetate, and then laid the acetate down on the cardstock and pressed it so that the ink went into the cardstock, and then married up the original stamp stamped in black on top so that the feet of the image, where they'd be touching the ice, which is the frosty reflection that I'm creating, would be. So the feet of the 2 images are touching. I couldn't believe how easy this was. It was, and a lot of fun too. So once I stamped out the 2 images, I thought it'd be best to actually colour in the ice, the pond ice stuff first. Lake, wherever this little mouse is skating. So I actually coloured that over the reflection first, and then used lighter versions of all the Copic colours that I coloured the mouse with in the reflection. The scene in the back, I just used some of the waffle flower trees out of the same stamp set, and I did some real simple Copic colouring. Now I thought it'd be fun to make the next 3 cards into shaker cards, so I did go ahead and actually create a little scene around all these reflection images. I just used my Copic multi-liner to draw in sort of the edge of the pond or some snowbanks, and did some real simple sort of backgrounds with the trees, and totally coloured in the sky with the B21 marker that's nearly dry. I'm going to have to fill this marker, but that's okay. That's for another day. No, so here I go again, Stamp the image onto the paper, flip the paper over, press the image onto the cardstock, and then stamp the image with the feet touching in the black ink. How easy is that? Colour my reflection first and then colour the actual reflection of the image in muted tones. Easy peasy and fun, especially when you're doing so many cards at once. No one's going to notice if it's not perfectly coloured. And it is meant to be like a watery reflection too, so I'm going with that. This one cracks me up, this image. It's a MFT image and it's from a set called Chill Wishes. And as far as I can see, it's not available this year. I'm pretty sure it only came out last year, so it didn't last very long. But maybe it might have been the year before. The years fly by so quick. I used the Lime Ricky ink and some really technical masking to add the trees for the next couple of scenes that I created. Now, this is a cool set. It's a new set to me. It's from Hero Arts and it's called Sledding. And this is one of those stamp and cut sets. So it comes with stamps and with the coordinating dies. So it has a cat and a dog and a mouse image and lots of little bits and pieces, hats, and it's a really cute little set. And I thought it'd be great to do a sledding cat across a reflection. So all the same technique again. Look at the look on his face. He's having a ball, this cat. My cats would be freaking out, totally freaking out. I struggled to find sort of a coordinating colour to do on the reflection. I think this one worked in the end. And of course, some nicely coordinating masked trees in the background. I've sort of cut each of the panels down and adding some snow flicks with the pure white ink spray from Altenew. And then I just set these aside to dry while I work on the card fronts. So I'm going to add some shaker panels to go on top of the card fronts. And I've got a couple of stamp sets here. Now the sledding one I used a fun sentiment out of the set, but the other one is also a new Hero Arts set and it's awesome. It's got some really fun sayings in it and it's actually called Offbeat Holiday Messages. It's so cool. The joy that I stamped in the red ink comes from the hand-lettered holiday greetings. It's just a beautiful new font greeting set from MFT. I've die cut a couple of arch windows and a circle window. They're all from Waffle Flower Crafts. And I want to add 3 different shaker elements to the cards. Now this one has some Flower Soft. And the colour is called Polar White. And I did have to remove some of that because I added too much. And I thought that'd be fun to have that sort of Polar Soft shaker element in with that pussycat. This card cracks me up. The next one, this is a really old product from Martha Stewart. I don't know if we can still get it, but I've had it for so many years. And it's from Martha Stewart and it's called Crystal. And it's like long, thin pieces of glitter. Almost like weird snowflakes. So that's in the other one. And the Twinklets, one of my favourite, the Diamond Dust, I've added to this snowy, as my snow for the penguin in shaker here. I get my words tangled. And that's it for my Frosty theme. Don't forget to head to Michelle's challenge, to her blog and see what she made with the Frosty theme. I look forward to seeing it at my blog. Till next time. Oh, and I'm going to link more videos here from the previous years. So till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.